Week 22, Day 1, developingcharacter.org, page 122, PDF file, complete curriculum, free of charge. You know, just a little review right here, and we were talking about this, but I had a school administrator call me and tell me that in the positive mental attitude lesson with respond and react, that the key to it was that you may very well react on the inside. But the key is, do you control your emotions well enough to respond on the outside? In other words, you're going to be mad about some things. That's your reaction. Like the little boy that struck out. He's going to react on the inside. He's going to be very, very angry. But his outward response is to go and take more batting practice so it doesn't happen again. It's like fumbling a football. You fumble the football, well, your reaction may be to hate that and to be angry with yourself and to be disappointed in yourself and so forth. But the response to it is to learn the points of the ball, where you have to squeeze the ball, and to learn better how to make sure it doesn't happen again. So there is a response and a react. My wife and I, Mary and I, were talking about the eyes have it. You remember the story about Thomas Jefferson and the friendliness quality? It talked about Thomas Jefferson. The old man was standing there and all these guys coming riding by, and he never asked one of them for a ride. And Thomas Jefferson rode up and he asked him if he could ride with him. And Jefferson said, sure. And so he did. Well, since that story, and since we've kind of been watching here, the people here at Elkins Lake, we walk every morning. And in the mornings when we walk and people ride by in their golf carts or in their cars, you look at their eyes. And you know if there's a friendliness there or not. And you might wave at them and they may or may not wave back. It's the same thing. You can look into their eyes. Now, here's the question. If I looked into your eyes, what would I see? Would you see the friendliness? Did you develop that quality to the point that if somebody looked into your eyes, they would see that quality? Something to think about. The quality this week is good listener. And I hope you are. Obviously, I hope you are. It's a willingness and an ability to make the speaker feel good. That's what a listener is. That's someone that really wants to make the speaker feel good. There are two ways of spreading light. You either be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. And that's that comes from the ability to listen. And we're going to talk a lot about listening in 2 or 3 different areas this week in listening. And all the stories are not going to be in the curriculum, so you're going to have to take some notes this week. Now, talking about goals, you got to write down 3 goals. One of the best coaches I ever worked for was a track coach. And he had lots of interesting ideas. But the one idea he had, I coached the shot putters. And so he told me, he said, I want you to get X number of points at the district meet. And I said, okay. And he said, in order to do that, you've got to get this shot putter to throw the shot, put the shot 54 feet. I don't remember the specifics. And I said, okay. And so everybody that threw the shot, the first day that we had track practice, Coach Trees had a track meet. And you went out there, and the first thing you did was you had all your shot putters put the shot. And you measured their shot put. And so then Coach Trees would say, okay, at the first track meet, I want him to throw this. The next track meet, I want him to throw this. The next track meet, right on up to the district track meet. Because his idea was to win the district championship. And in order to win the district championship, he would say, Freddie Nixon needs to throw the shot put 54 feet. You go, okay. And so if he threw it 47 the first day, then he had to throw 49 at the first meet and so forth, so on. And every one of these kids had a goal for the week. 800 meters, 100 meters, 2-milers, long jump, high jump, shot put, discus. It didn't matter. Everybody had a goal to accomplish that week. And I often thought about it. We would go to a track meet, and we had a real young sophomore, and his goal might be 37 feet at that track meet. And Freddie Nixon, who was our district champion shot putter, his goal might be 51 feet at that track meet. And we would go out there, and the young sophomore would throw the shot put 37 foot 6 inches. And I mean, every one of our shot putters would give him a high five and hug him and just go crazy. And then Freddie would get up there and throw the shot put 50 foot 5 inches. Now, remember this, that would put Freddie Nixon in first place at most track meets. And he would come over to our group, and our group would go, come on, Freddie, you got to do better than that. And I often thought about all those people sitting there watching, and they go, boy, those Judson kids are really stupid. They're cheering for a 37-foot shot putter, and they're chastising a 50-foot shot putter. And then on Monday, Coach Trees would sit down with everybody on that team, and he would say, okay, and he would mention the sophomore's name, and he'd say, he did his personal best. He reached his goal of 37 feet Saturday. And I mean, they would applaud and cheer and all that. And then he would say, now, Freddie didn't quite get his goal. And he didn't beat him up. He didn't say, boy, that's terrible or anything. He just said, he just gave the facts. And if they made their goal, he put it up on a big board there. Why do I tell you all this? See, he understood probably better than any coach I ever worked for, the concept, you need to be the best you. You don't need to compare you. That sophomore didn't need to compare himself with Freddie Nixon. Freddie Nixon was going to end up throwing 56 or 57 feet and winning the district championship and going on to state. But that sophomore, if he was going to get to where he needed to get to by his senior year, he needed to take it gradually and not get down the dumps. He didn't need to compare himself to Freddie Nixon. You don't need to compare yourself to anybody but you. When you go out and you run that 5K, like the person I was talking about, they don't need to run at a rate to win this deal or whatever it might be. They need to set a goal and then run for that goal. When you run or you throw or you catch or you make test scores, you're trying to be the best you that you can be. When we develop these qualities, when you develop and improve the quality of being a listener this week, you are going to be a better you. When you take the goals that you have and you write down these goals, whatever they might be, and you're not trying to be like someone else. You're trying to be the best you that you can be. If you weigh 220 pounds now and you want to weigh 215, then you need to lose to 219 this week. You don't need to worry about what the others are losing or gaining. You don't need to worry about what they're bench pressing or what they're running. You need to be the best you. Write down 3 goals this week that are going to make you a better you. Write down 3 things you're going to do this week that are going to make you a better you. And one of them definitely needs to be that we're going to develop and improve the quality of listening. Amen. See you tomorrow.